What's this? A letter for me.
Hello once again, everybody. This is a Remember the Greats Sports Through the Mail Thursday, but it's a little bit different. I'm only going to share one autograph with you today, and the reason I'm only sharing one is because I don't know if this is real or a ghost signed signature. And I'm going to probably talk about ghost signed signatures or auto pen signatures or stamp signatures in another video, but I almost think that these autographs may be too good to be true. I'm not a celebrity autograph collector by any means. I write maybe one or two celebrities every couple of years. This celebrity in particular that I'm about to show you, I got back in, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. It was a very short window. And that's why I almost think, you know, this guy is a very, 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 very busy guy. How can he have time to sit down and just have that much of a turnaround that quickly? So it makes me almost think that they're secretarial, meaning somebody opens his mail and signs for him. So I'm going to show you these two signed baseball cards because this actor portrayed a baseball player. And when I opened them, I thought, you know, I really hope these are real. And that's why I made this video, to kind of put it out there to some of the masses out there in the collecting world, including those that, you know, do autograph celebrities through the mail. You know, what do you think? You know, I'm not going to have my feelings hurt. I didn't pay much for these cards. If you think they're fake, just let me know in the comments below. I like to think that they're real. I think we all would like to think that everything we get back in the mail is real, but this guy is such a mega star celebrity, you know, uber celebrity, that it's almost too good to be true. So, enough of the suspense and the talking. The individual that I am talking about is none other than Roy Hobbs himself, Mr. Robert Redford, on 2 of 2 in less than 3 weeks. Now, these cards are homemade, I guess you would call them. They're not licensed, they're not upper deck, they're not, you know, tops or anything like that. I found an individual selling these on eBay for next to nothing. These are pretty cool, unsigned, in my opinion. From what I understand, there's a set of 4 of these. I do have a couple other ones, but I only sent 2 in the mail to Mr. Redford. And as you can see, it's got a little write-up on his stats at the top there from Sabotoke Valley, Iowa, just like in the movie. And it's got the Life magazine that's depicted in the movie of him. And this has a pretty cool write-up in the style of a, you know, play ball gum card on the back, you know, with a bunch of little stats and tidbits, you know, about his childhood and how he came up, and, you know, the facts that we know about him in the movie. So, at first glance, you know, I can tell that they're not an auto pen because there's too many differences. For example, the Robert up here at the top has a loop on the T, where this one is flat. You know, you can see that loop where this one doesn't have a loop. So, obviously they haven't been put through an auto pen machine. And also, it's just slightly a little bit bigger on the card here as opposed to there. So there are differences in the signature. Now, the question is, who signed them? That's the question. Did Mr. Redford himself sign them, or was this a secretary? Was this, you know, somebody else that created that? So that's where I'm kind of at on this. I don't know how else to present this, you know, to the YouTube community, the autographers, you know, through the mail, the in-person celebrity, etc. But I ask a favor to anyone out there that maybe has gotten Mr. Redford in person to maybe compare the signatures. I don't know if he signs these or he's got somebody back at home signing them for him. As we all know, nothing is 100% legit through the mail. You just never know. That's the risk you take with sending things through the mail. The only real way that I feel that I could get these authenticated is if I asked Beckett or PSA or somebody along those lines to, you know, authenticate them from me. So, this is a little different episode. I don't want to make you feel that I'm trying to shortfall you with, you know, only showing one autograph return in the mail, but this just, when I opened this letter, I just couldn't believe it when I got it back. I mean, I sent these out, you know, like I said, a month or so ago, and I just thought, yeah, right. Like I'm ever going to see this one again. Like, you know, like he's going to ever sign these. And, you know, I wrote a nice letter to him. A fan I was of his acting, which spans, you know, 40, 50 years. Everybody knows, you know, that loves baseball and loves sports knows, you know, Roy Hobbs and the character Roy Hobbs. But I pointed out that one of my favorite things that I ever saw him act in, and no, not Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, that's not where I'm going with this, but one of the favorite things that I ever saw him act in was an episode of the Twilight Zone. Before Mr. Redford was a huge star, he was cast in an episode of the Twilight Zone where he actually plays Death. And I thought that was just an excellent episode. You know, being a fan of his work, I thought, man, you know, that is one of the greatest Twilight, probably, if not my favorite episode of the Twilight Zone that I've ever watched. So, if you guys have access to the Twilight Zone, and this is the original series, not the remake from the 80s, if you guys have access to the Twilight Zone, look up Mr. Redford's IMDB page and check out what episode that is. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but check out that episode. It's so well written, and it has, you know, the suspense, you know, to really bring you. It's a good story, to summarize. In closing, I appreciate any of your comments on this. I'm not trying to shortfall, you know, my Through the Mail Thursdays. I know you kind of grow accustomed to me, you know, opening 3, 4, or 5 letters at a time, but this is just a unique situation. I promise the next episode will have 4 more regular baseball, basketball, or football entries on it. It's just, I wanted to talk a little bit about this and see what your guys' thoughts were. Roy Hobbs, adding that to the collection, Robert Redford I should say, is just so awesome. And finding these custom cards on the internet, you know, they may not have value at all. You know, if these aren't real, obviously just the card themselves is cool. You know, it's cool to have this in your collection even if the autographs aren't real. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Love to hear your comments on this one and look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks, guys.